Have you ever felt like your whole world was falling apart? Have you ever smiled in front of everyone, but cried when no one was watching? Have you ever stared at your phone, hoping someone would send you a message, not to ask for a favor, not to ask for help, but simply to ask, "Are you okay?" Have you ever prayed with all your heart, waited for days, weeks, or even months, only to wonder, why is God so silent? Have you ever looked at someone else's life and quietly asked yourself, why does everyone seem happy except me? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, then this video is for you. Because today, I'm not just going to teach you how to stay calm. I'm going to tell you a story that might change the way you see pain forever. But before we begin, let me ask you one more question. Imagine two people standing in the middle of the same storm. The rain is pouring, the wind is screaming, the sky is dark. Both of them are afraid. The first person starts blaming life. He complains, he loses hope, and eventually he gives up. The second person closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, looks around carefully, and instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" he asks, "What is this trying to teach me?" That one question changes everything. Now tell me, which person do you want to become? The one who lets pain destroy him, or the one who lets pain make him stronger? Most people believe that calm people have easy lives, but that's not true. They cry, they struggle, they fail. The difference is they know one secret, a secret that most people never discover. And today, I'm going to share that secret with you. But first, let me tell you a story you'll never forget. Point 1. Accept reality instead of fighting it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever spent days asking yourself, why did this happen to me? Have you ever wished that you could go back in time and change one mistake? Have you ever refused to accept a painful reality, hoping that somehow everything would magically become normal again? If your answer is yes, you're not alone. Most people believe that their pain comes from the problem itself. But the truth is, sometimes our greatest pain comes from fighting reality. Imagine this. You're standing in the middle of the ocean. A huge wave is coming towards you. You have two choices. You can fight the wave, or you can dive through it. If you fight it, the wave will throw you down. But if you accept it and move with it, you'll come out stronger. Life works the same way. The more you fight reality, the more exhausted you become. Now think about a tree during a storm. The strongest tree isn't the one that refuses to move. It's the one that bends with the wind, but never breaks. Maybe your difficult time isn't asking you to give up. Maybe it's teaching you to become flexible, patient, and stronger than before. Here's something to remember. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance does not mean you like your situation. It simply means you stop wasting your energy wishing the past were different and start using your energy to build a better future. So today, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask yourself, "What is this situation trying to teach me?" Because sometimes, the moment you accept reality is the moment your healing begins. Point 2. Focus on what you can control. Now let me ask you another question. What do you spend most of your time worrying about? What people think of you? What might happen tomorrow? What if you fail? What if things never get better? Take a moment and think about it. How many of those things are actually under your control? Probably very few. Yet most people spend their energy trying to control the uncontrollable. And that's exactly why they feel exhausted. One day, Daniel returned to the old gardener. His face was filled with worry. The gardener looked at him and smiled. Then he asked, "What is troubling you today?" Daniel sighed and replied, "I can't stop thinking about the future. What if I never succeed? What if all my hard work is wasted? What if people laugh at me?" The old gardener didn't answer immediately. Instead, he picked up a piece of paper. Then he drew two circles. Above the first circle, he wrote, "Things I can control." Above the second circle, he wrote, "Things I cannot control." Then he handed the paper to Daniel and said, "Write down every worry that's in your mind." Daniel began writing. In the first circle, he wrote, "My effort, my attitude, my decisions, my actions." In the second circle, he wrote, "What people think about me, what tomorrow will bring, whether I succeed or fail, things that are beyond my control." The old gardener smiled. Then he said, "Do you see the problem? You've been spending most of your life inside the second circle. That's why you're so tired. Now let me ask you something. Are you doing the same? Are you losing sleep over things you cannot change? If the answer is yes, then today, make one simple decision. Stop giving your energy to things that don't belong to you. Instead, focus on your effort, your character, your choices, your actions, because the moment you focus on what you can control, your mind stops creating fear and starts finding solutions. Remember this: you cannot control the storm, but you can learn how to sail your ship. And that's what truly strong people do. But here's another question. Even after accepting reality and focusing only on what you can control, why do we still feel afraid sometimes? The answer to that question may completely change the way you face difficult times. Point 3. Take one small step at a time. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your life and felt completely overwhelmed? Have you ever thought, "I need a better job, I need more money, I need to support my family, I need to fix everything," and because there was so much to do, you ended up doing nothing at all? If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. One day, Daniel walked to the old gardener with a heavy heart. He looked worried. Then he said, "I want to change my life, but my problems are so big, I don't even know where to begin." The old gardener smiled. Without saying a word, he took Daniel to an old wooden ladder. Then he asked, "If you wanted to reach the top of this ladder, could you jump to the last step in one move?" Daniel laughed. "Of course not." The gardener nodded. "Exactly. You reach the top, one step at a time." Then he looked into Daniel's eyes and said, "Life works the same way. The people who try to change their entire life in one day usually become tired and give up. But the people who take one small step every single day eventually reach places they once thought were impossible." Now let me ask you, how many steps do you really need to take today? 10 or just 1? Maybe today, you only need to send one job application, read one chapter of a book, exercise for just 10 minutes, learn one new skill, or make one better decision than you made yesterday. Never underestimate the power of small actions, because small steps, repeated every day, create extraordinary results. Remember, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You only need the courage to take the first step. And one day, you'll look back and realize that every small step led you to a completely different life. But here's the real question. What happens when you're taking small steps every day and nothing seems to change? Should you give up? Or is there one more secret that successful people understand? Point 4. Be patient even when you can't see results. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever worked really hard only to feel like nothing was changing? Have you ever prayed, waited for weeks or even months, and wondered, why is my life still the same? Have you ever watched other people succeed while you felt completely stuck? If you have, you're not alone. One morning, Daniel returned to the old gardener. This time, he looked disappointed. He sighed and said, "I've been trying my best. I've stayed calm. I've taken one small step every day, but I still don't see any results." The old gardener smiled. Instead of answering, He took Daniel to a small bamboo plant. Then he asked, "Do you know why bamboo is so special?" Daniel shook his head. The gardener said, "For years. A bamboo tree grows beneath the ground. People water it every day, but they see nothing. Many people think nothing is happening, so they give up." He paused for a moment, then he continued, "But underneath the soil, the bamboo is growing strong roots. And when the time is right, it grows faster than anyone expected." Daniel looked at the bamboo, then quietly asked, "So, you're saying my progress might be invisible?" The old gardener smiled. "Exactly. Just because you can't see growth doesn't mean growth isn't happening. Now let me ask you, what if this difficult season isn't here to stop you, but to prepare you? What if every challenge is making you stronger, wiser, and more patient? Remember this: the strongest roots always grow in silence. So don't compare your journey with someone else's. Everyone has a different timeline. Keep learning, keep growing, keep believing, because one day, the results you've been waiting for will finally appear, and you'll realize that every moment of patience was worth it. But there is one final question: what gives a person the strength to keep moving forward, even when life feels impossible? The answer to that question may change your life forever.
Point 5. Never lose hope. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like nothing was ever going to get better? Have you ever whispered to yourself, "I can't do this anymore"? Have you ever looked at someone else's life and wondered, "Why is everyone moving forward while I'm standing still?" If you have, you're not alone. One evening, Daniel sat quietly in the garden. His head was down. His eyes were filled with disappointment. The old gardener walked over and sat beside him. For a few moments, neither of them spoke. Then the gardener gently said, "Daniel, look up at the sky." Daniel did. The sun was setting, darkness slowly covered the sky. Daniel sighed and said, "Everything is becoming dark." The old gardener smiled. Then he replied, "Wait a little longer." A few minutes passed. One by one, the stars began to appear. The gardener looked at Daniel and said, "Do you see that? Stars cannot shine during the day. They only shine in the darkness." He paused for a moment, then continued, "People are no different. Your true strength, your true character, and your deepest faith are revealed during the darkest moments of your life." Daniel's eyes filled with tears, not because he was weak, but because, for the first time, he understood. Now let me ask you something. What if this dark season isn't the end of your story, but the beginning of a stronger one? What if today's failure is preparing you for tomorrow's success? What if the delay is protecting you from something you cannot see yet? Remember this: hope is not pretending that life is easy. Hope is choosing to keep moving, even when the road is dark. So when you can't see the whole path, take one more step. When nobody believes in you, believe in yourself. And when the world tells you you can't do it, smile. Keep working and let your results speak for you. Because every night has an ending, and every sunrise begins with darkness. But there's still one final lesson. The lesson that brings true peace. Even when life is falling apart, where does real calm come from? And what do truly strong people think differently? Point 6. True peace comes from within. Before we end this journey, let me ask you one final question. What if the biggest battle of your life was never against your problems, but against your own mind? Think about it. How many nights have you lost worrying about tomorrow? How many times have you let fear steal today's happiness? One evening, Daniel asked the old gardener, "Will life ever become easy?" The old gardener smiled. Then he quietly replied, "No, my son." Daniel looked surprised. The gardener continued, "Life will always have storms. There will always be pain. There will always be uncertainty. Then he pointed toward the sky. Dark clouds were covering the sun. The gardener asked, "Tell me, has the sun disappeared?" Daniel looked carefully. Then he smiled. "No, it's still there." The gardener nodded. "Exactly. The clouds only hide the sun. They never destroy it." He looked into Daniel's eyes and said, "Your peace is just like that sun. Problems can hide it, fear can cover it, pain can test it. But if you keep faith, your peace never truly disappears." Daniel stood there silently. For the first time, he wasn't asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, he asked, "What is this moment teaching me?" And in that moment, he finally understood. A peaceful life is not a life without problems. It's a life where problems no longer control your heart. So today, if you're going through a difficult time, don't give up. Take one deep breath, trust Allah, trust the process. Keep moving forward, one small step at a time, because one day, you'll look back, not with regret, but with gratitude. You'll realize the storm didn't come to destroy you. It came to make you stronger. Before I leave, I just want to say, thank you. Thank you for spending these moments with me. If this video touched your heart, please share it with someone who might need these words today and tell me in the comments. Which lesson changed your thinking the most? I read every single comment. Your feedback helps me become better with every video. Remember, stay calm, stay strong, never lose hope. Because your story isn't over yet. The best chapter of your life may still be waiting for you.